What's up, Stokers? Before we begin this podcast, I want to let you know that we're not on tour anymore. We are going to come out with new dates, so check those out at chadandjt.com. In the meantime, during the holidays, check out our show, Chad and JT Go Deep on Netflix. Also, like and subscribe to the YouTube. We're coming out with new YouTube videos often. So, check it out, dudes. We are coming in hot with new content, and what up? Also, we are brought to you by a new sponsor that I'm really psyched on called Dadgrass. Dadgrass, what up? Thank you guys so much for sponsoring the podcast. Your well-being is high on the priority list this holiday season, and Dadgrass has you covered. They can mellow you out with their CBD pre-roll joints and get a little hangover help with their good time tinctures, or get sleep that dreams are made of with their brand new nighttime gummies. Right now, and guys, I've gotten Dadgrass. I love Dadgrass. It makes you look cool, feel good, and everything about it is cool. So right now, Dadgrass is offering our listeners 20% off your first order when you go to dadgrass.com/go-deep. Go to dadgrass.com/go-deep for 20% off your first order. That's dadgrass.com/go-deep. We're also brought to you by the legends at Prize Picks. What up, Prize Picks? Thank you so much for sponsoring the podcast. Guys, Prize Picks offers projections on any sport that you watch. This includes NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, PGA, college football, men's college basketball, women's college basketball, all sports, MMA, boxing, and more. Disc golf even. What? Yeah. Download the Prize Picks app or go to prizepicks.com to sign up and play daily fantasy sports. First-time users can receive a 100% instant deposit match up to $100 with promo code GODEEP. If you deposit $100, Prize Picks will give you $100. If you deposit $50, Prize Picks will give you $50. Don't forget to enter promo code GODEEP at sign up for an instant deposit match up to $100. We're also brought to you by the legends at Manscaped. Manscaped, thank you so much for keeping our trims pube. You're looking after our hawks, making sure their dinks are looking fresh and clean because they got the Platinum Package 4.0. That's the perfect gift for your dad, son, significant other, anyone who has pubes, all right? You are going to crush it if you get the Platinum Package. I really mean this. So what better holiday gift than giving the gift of good hygiene and few laughs? Get 20% off and free shipping with the code GODEEP at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with the free shipping at manscaped.com. Use code GODEEP. Manscaped for a big, perfect gift that will be the holidays' biggest hit. Finally, we're brought to you by the legends at Athletic Greens. What up, Athletic Greens? Thank you so much for sponsoring the pod. This is my favorite supplement. I take it every morning, and it ensures my nutrition, my health, and my well-being. So I implore you to get on the train. Athletic Greens is giving you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Visit athleticgreens.com/go-deep for a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. That's athleticgreens.com/go-deep. All right, let's start the show.
1, 2, 3, going deep, Chad and JT.
Dude, let's dive.
Hell yeah.
Let's go head first.
All right, let's slap the salami and call the masseuse. What's up, Stokers of Stoke Nation? This is Chad Kroger coming in with the Going Deep with Chad JT podcast. I'm here with my compadre, Jean Thomas.
What up, boom clap stokers?
And we're here with the legend. He needs no introduction. Adam Devine, welcome to the pod. Stoked to have you here.
Yes. Really, really good to be here. What did you guys call them? Boom slappers?
Well, I come up with a new phrase at the top of every pod. And this week it's slap the salami and call the masseuse. So it's kind of like sexual, but not.
But also just like good life advice, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah, it could be.
I might do that exactly.
Or it's just a good life advice. It's like relax. It's take a break. Take some time for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And chillax your body, you know? And also ejaculate, which is important, which
Beautiful.
You should do. Everyone should do it every day.
Oh, we've been having a lot of debate about that because, semen retention is so popular right now. I am an avid ejaculator. I do it too much, but I'm trying to find that sweet spot. Like, what's the ideal amount? But every day is a good recommendation. I think a lot of people would be on board for that. I
think that's a healthy amount. Yeah. I feel once a day, you clean the pipes. And then if it's like working out, you should do it every day. If you skip a few days here and there, you're not going to be morbidly obese. But if you stick to it every day,
yeah, don't be hard on yourself.
Don't be that hard on yourself if you miss a day, like cut yourself some slack. Some days you're busy. You don't have time to masturbate,
Right.
It's supposed to be better too. Like the more often you ejaculate, we learned from our engineer who has a baby. It's better for procreation because it keeps the pipes clean.
Mm-hmm. That actually is true.
Well, this is a question for you. If you have a lot of buildup, uh, do you make up for it when you have some time to clean the pipes? Like, do you do 3 sessions in a day if you've had like 3 days off?
Uh, yeah, you know when you have too much in the tank, and you gotta. Yeah, I'd say that's about right. 2 or 3 times in a day. I'm not in high school anymore. I don't have this stamina that I used to have. So twice maybe.
How old were you the first time you cranked?
This was on the list of questions for me. Uh, probably like 14 or 15.
Oh,
Uh,
that's a later age. That's good. You waited. You
yeah, I
waited for it
was
to be
yeah, I was
stressful.
respectful of myself and my innocence. Uh, Funny story. The first time that I remember ejaculating, and not the first time I masturbated, but the first time I ejaculated, my toe fell off in the bathtub.
Whoa.
Yeah, dude,
Like
toe fell
permanently?
off. Yeah, swear to you. I was I was hit by a cement truck when I was a little kid. And so I was not little. I mean, I was like 11, which is pretty damn little. And so I couldn't walk for like 2 years, and like my toe
Yeah.
was all the doctors were like, it's just going to fall off someday. Like either it's going to start to heal or it'll straight up fall off. And it fell off in the bathtub the first time I ejaculated. And I screamed out, and my mom came into the
Whoa.
bathroom to like help me. And I was afraid that she was going to put her hands in the cummy waters, you know?
Oh God.
Yeah.
Was that traumatic for you at all in terms of like the next time you busted? Were you worried that there would be like
Like another body
something
part was,
bad, like another
yeah.
bad thing was gonna happen?
Yeah. If I just, every time I masturbate, I lose a digit.
Yeah, you've only got 20 loads in your life before you're pure nub.
Yeah, it would have been worth it. I would have been walking
What's
around
the-
just all nubbed up.
Yeah, one month later you have no digits. But you're stoked. You're
Yeah.
feeling good.
Yeah,
Wait,
20
so
days
do you have
later.
PTSD? Like, when you bust now, do you like scream at the memory of your toe falling off?
I feel like I've gotten over it at this point. It definitely at first, I knew that it was just it was a coincidence that the toe fell off. The first time I ejaculated, but yeah, I feel like I got over that hump pretty quickly. The next time might have been scary, and then the third time I was ready to go for it.
There's that vignette in the short story collection, Brief Interviews with Hideous Men, where every time the dude busts, he screams victory for the forces of democratic freedom. And he's so embarrassed by it that it makes him unable to be in an intimate relationship.
I got to read this. This seems like kind of my life. I feel like I could write a tale.
Dude, are you from Orange County?
I live down there. I live in Newport Beach. When I moved to
Hell yeah.
California, I moved to Newport Beach, well, like Costa Mesa, and then I was like, as soon as I can afford to live close to the water, I'm going to live down here in Newport. So that's what I did.
That's the dream, man. We both grew up in Orange County. I went to a Saddleback for a couple years too.
Oh,
So
cool.
I
Hell
know you
yeah.
did the JUCO run.
Oh yeah, I'm an OCC pirate, boy.
Is that their mascot? I was going to ask because I don't remember the mascot for Saddleback. I feel like junior colleges, you don't as closely associate with the mascot or the.
Well, that's because you chose Saddleback and not OCC. If you would have chose Orange Coast Community College, you would have been a pirate all the way.
Is there a rivalry here? Are we beefing?
Do we have beef already?
Dude, Saddleback's got a sick like school system over there. Like their anthropology department is ridiculous. Their film school is top notch. It's a heavy hitting school.
I'm sure it's great. For people that don't know, Saddleback and OCC are only a few miles away, which I always thought was weird that there's two community colleges kind of that close together. It's only a few miles. And they're both. I don't know about Saddleback that much, but OCC when I first moved there, it was like ranked in Playboy for like the hottest chicks in college. So that was a big selling point for me to go across country because I'm from Omaha, Nebraska, and I moved all the way to Orange County mostly because that movie with Colin Hanks and Jack Black came out, Orange County, and like the whole premise of
Oh
the
yeah,
movie is
yeah.
essentially uh, Colin Hanks going, I don't just want to go to the local college where there's nothing but stoner dudes and hot chicks. I want to go to a smart school. And I'm like, I want to go to that stoner school with the hot chicks and everybody just is at the beach every day. I'm like, that's where I want to go. So that's why I traveled across the country from Omaha to beautiful Costa Mesa, California.
How is it living down in OC, sort of working in Hollywood? Is it easy to like? Do you have to drive up to LA a lot, or are you in a position where it's you can pretty much just pull it off from down there?
Yeah, normally I just get on a sweet platform like Riverside or Zoom and and do all my meetings that way. But no,
Yeah.
to be perfectly honest, like I've been home. I think we did the math, and it was like something like 7 or 8 weeks since 2020. So I haven't been home much at all the last few
Wow.
years, just traveling for work stuff. But yeah, you could kind of, once you kind of get to a certain level, you don't need to go on auditions every day. And a lot of auditions and stuff are like just done over Zoom now. So you can be an actor
Yeah.
and live anywhere, really.
How is so you lived in LA for a while. I people when I tell people I'm from Orange County but I live in LA, they're like, "Oh, it's the same thing." But they feel totally distinct to me. Like growing up in Orange County, I didn't really relate to LA like in a I didn't think about like entertainment or any of that stuff. It wasn't like it didn't seem like a easy pipeline. And every time I drive back in Orange
Sure.
County, I'm instantly struck by how different it is. Like the roads are wider. Everyone's like very relaxed, like they feel like they won down there. But that
Yes.
easygoing confidence kind of rubs off on me and I relax a bit.
I feel the exact same way as soon as I take a peek behind the orange curtain, as they say, driving from LA down to Orange County. I take a deep breath. Because for
Yeah, me
whatever
too.
reason, uh, there's like less graffiti, the roads are wider, everything's just a little cleaner. It just seems nicer down there, and the amount of like
Mm.
flip flops you see down there. I'm like, it's a casual environment when like
Hmm.
everyone is in flip flops in it's December. You're like, oh, this is a chill place.
Uh,
Totally. Aesthetically, I think Orange County has got LAB. I will say though, like I don't know if people in Orange County like think as much as people in LA for better and worse.
Yeah, that might be right. Yeah, they're definitely thinking more in LA.
Yeah.
In Orange County, there's less thoughts happening.
Like
Yeah.
everyone's just kind of like relaxed. And if you ask them what they're stressed about, they're like, well, my deck was supposed to be finished a week ago. And Teddy the contractor's a little behind, but he's a good dude.
Yeah. It's it's mostly contractor related issues. Yes. They chose the wrong paint for the guest house.
my girlfriend lived down there, and so I would drive down there like every other day. And then she moved out to LA. I was more sad about her. I almost made the move. I mean, I don't think I can right now, but I really want to do it because I was more sad about her moving, leaving Newport than she was. I love it down there.
Yeah, it really is. It's incredible. We still have a place up in Hollywood, and we kind of when we are home, we split our time a little bit. And there's great things about LA too, but I tend to like Orange County more lately.
You know, you're a standard bearer for bros. I consider myself a bro too, but with some dimensions. Do you ever get do you ever get like shocked
Sure.
at the level of bro that you can run into in Orange County? Like the depth of the bro? Like how deep a bro this bro is?
Oh, I mean, absolutely. And I feel like I think people like true bros that are bro to their core. Sometimes I feel when they meet me, I don't live up to the bro hype. And they're like, oh, he doesn't want to beer bong this Jägermeister with me on
Was
a
that tough
Tuesday
on you?
afternoon.
Is that tough on you? Like not feeling like you're not living up?
Well, for years I would like go try to step up in, try to live up to the hype. And then you get a little older and you're like, well, what the fuck what am I doing?
Fucking die.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't have to. It's fine. Yes, you win. You win the bro battle. So
Are there ever like, hey,
Here
dude,
I
like
am
me and 6
now.
of my buddies are going back to my friend like Ricky's apartment. Do you want to cruise with and play some FIFA?
Absolutely. And I used to go back sometimes. Like sometimes I would used to, especially when I was like doing stand-up shows and I'd go to like a random college town and they're like, hey, we're gonna roll back and like we're all pretty good at foosball. And I'm like, well, I'm pretty good at foosball too.
Yeah, that
We'll see who's the
competition,
best
it's
at
good for-
foosball
Good
tonight.
for testosterone to be in the mix like that.
Yeah, that's right. Get it going. And who knows, a push-up contest might break out. We're not sure what's gonna happen.
We've been touring lately, and it is tough when we'll have fans ask the same question, or even like an opener. We'll have like an opener be like, "So you guys gonna rage after this?" And like, just get after it. I'm like, I think I'm gonna go back and read, and I always feel a little bit ashamed of myself whenever I have to say that. But my sleep is sacred. I'm like, I need to sleep.
Hey, sometimes you gotta, yeah, sometimes you need to chill. I get it.
Do you feel like a bro to yourself?
No. I mean, obviously we all have bro tendencies.
There's beautiful aspects of it. There's a lot of beauty in it.
There's beautiful aspects to brohood, but they're just so hilarious. Like that's why on Workaholics, all of our personalities, our characters on the show, we leaned into the broness of each of our individual characters because that is the funniest version of those characters. Like if we just played it too close to ourselves, we wouldn't make the best sitcom characters. So we,
Yeah, I think you've done a really good job of maintaining that essence, but like maturing it and finding different ways to express it. Were you very like conscious of the way people would want to put you just into one slot and that you needed to be able to like, honor that, but still create enough differentiation in it so that it felt new and challenging for you?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, as soon as I think it was like probably once I did like Modern Family, that was like the least broiest character that I played. I played Sarah Hyland's like love interest on like 25 episodes of Modern Family or something. And I think it was like once I did that, it was like more of a romantic comedy guy, and then since then I've done several romantic comedies. And that was something that I absolutely never saw for myself, but it was sort of a happy accident that I was able to like not be Adam Devine from Workaholics. I can be like kind of a sweetheart of a guy, like like the guy next door type character. And that was sort of a happy accident that I fell into that. And then after that, I think Hollywood was sort of like, oh, he can do other stuff and not just be the total psychopath that we know from Workaholics, which I love doing too. And we're about to start shooting the movie in a few months.
Go.
We're working on the script right now, actually. Yeah, we're super stoked.
Fired up on that. I rom-com is probably my favorite film genre, and I've like read like McConaughey.
Really?
Yeah, I love him. I've read McConaughey and Hugh Grant quotes about how they actually think it's tougher to be in a romantic comedy than like a drama. Like McConaughey had this quote where he's like, in a rom-com, if you go too deep, you sink the ship. And like basically how there's this real skill in being able to like be light and be kind of like life affirming over the course of like a whole movie.
Yeah, well, maybe. I mean, it's definitely different than just a straight comedy, because Mike and Dave was like a straight comedy, or Game Over Man was just like a down the pipe straight comedy, where it's just you're going for the laughs every scene, and you don't really need to play the romance of it at all. And so when I've had to do that, there definitely is a different sort of skill set or mode that you got to get into in order to pull it off. So you're not just going gung ho the entire time with the comedy.
Is it in the eyes? Is it like how you look at your co-star? Like, do you work your eyes different when you're trying to be romantic?
Yeah. Do I give them some extra twinkle eyes?
Yeah, do you add some twinkle? I see it. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I try to put a little sparkle in it every once in a while.
I feel very vulnerable when I have to do that on camera. It's like, wait, I got to try and be like sexy or like
It is
attractive.
weird trying to be like, yes, when you're like, this scene would be better if I wasn't the ugly piece of shit that I am. That I think that sometimes when I when I like look at something and be like, oh man, this scene would be way better if I was just like 15% hotter.
No,
You know?
no, that's not. You're
Like-
you're a good-looking dude. I mean, I get the inner child voice though.
I mean, me too. I get that little, you get that little kid where you're just like, nah, you're no good. Just go back to the swing set, young fat Adam.
This might be sensitive since it's so recent, but what are your thoughts on Liver King? The controversy around his steroid use. Are you familiar with it at all?
We were just talking about that the other day. Me and the Workaholics guys on our podcast. Yeah, obviously the guy was on steroids.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
if you truly thought this guy just ate the testicles of fucking rhinos or whatever the fuck he was eating, and got muscles like that from just eating liver, like
Mhm.
you're an idiot, dude. I work out every day. And I'm a pile of mush, and I eat pretty healthy.
Mhm.
But my body looks like a garbage can. Like, you truly, in order to get that shredded, you have to be on steroids. So I didn't think it was that big of a, like, people were like, whoa, how? He lied to us? I'm like, yeah, man, everyone on the internet is lying to you all the time.
Yeah. And
Always assume you're getting lied
Yeah.
to.
it's weird with social media. It's almost like it's
And also, if someone is if there's like no like wink wink behind what they're doing at all, like he's just like, this is the way it is. This is, and you're like, okay, it felt false a little bit with the Liver King.
yeah, it's weird with social media. It almost allows us to interpret these people the way we would like movie characters. Like I think about like Andrew Tate, and I'm like, oh well, he's just like playing a Scorsese character all the time over social media. But it's almost more interesting than a movie because you can kind of make believe it's real more.
Yeah, that's right. I feel like the people that are really good at social media, it must be just exhausting.
Yeah.
Just having to play that character, because I feel that way sometimes, but I'm at least an actor where people meet me in real life and they expect me to be a little bit of a bro, but I would say, especially as I got in older, people understand that I'm probably not exactly that person. But social media stars really have to live up to the hype of them being whatever version of psycho that their social media character is.
Mm-hmm. Did you, when you got into this business, was your main goal to, act in features, or did you always want to direct and write, or what was your main goal going into it?
Yeah, it was like just comedy. I loved comedy as a kid, and it was to be like on SNL. And then when I was 18 and I was deciding, am I going to move to California or New York? I like looked up how expensive it was in New York and how I could like actually have my own bedroom in LA, and I was like, all right, I'll just move there.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, it was to be in movies, and I guess my like heroes were like the Adam Sandlers, the Jim Carreys, the Will Ferrells, guys like that, Ben Stiller.
What inspired you guys to go the YouTube route? Because that was like the that was probably like 2008, 2009 when you guys were making those videos.
No, dude, we were like doing it. It was like
Oh,
06,
really?
07,
Oh, so
08. Yeah.
you were like real OG.
Yeah, we were.
Frontiersman.
We I remember when the internet didn't exist. Yeah, we're old as fuck, dude. Durs especially, he's the oldest one out of us, so
Yeah.
he's definitely the oldest. But yeah, we it was just Kyle was friends with a guy who knew the Lonely Island guys, and he was like, they're going to be on SNL. And we're like, well, show us, well, do you have a video or something? And you used to have to like have QuickTime files, and it would take forever
Yeah.
to download. And he pulled up YouTube and showed us. And not only were we seeing the Lonely Island, which is Andy Samberg and all those guys, Akiva and Yorma, not only were we seeing them, and they were so damn funny, and we were like, these videos are hilarious and they're going to crush it on SNL. We were seeing YouTube for the first time, and we were like, holy shit, you could just play a video and it'll play right away. I feel like I'm my parent talking to me about how television used to be in black and white. You know, I feel like when kids will listen to this, they're like, what do you mean? Yeah. What do you mean? There wasn't just the YouTube where you could just play a video. No, dude, you used to have to like individually send your video out to people, and it was impossible to have anyone see anything. So we were stoked. And as soon as we found out about YouTube, we were like gung ho.
Yeah. Cause I was inspired by you guys specifically, because we both started in stand up and stuff, and sort of we're developing these personas on stage.
Thanks.
And you guys were sort of like the model for us of like, if you want to show your sort of proof of concept for your TV show, you put it on YouTube. You don't need to, shoot a pilot and send it around. You can just put it on the internet, and then you have proof of concept, and then you also have, audience. You're building an audience, and you're showing them that, people like this stuff. And so you guys, like, you guys were a huge inspiration for us. Yeah.
Oh, well, thanks, man. I mean,
Yeah.
like, and yeah, we looked up to the Lonely Island guys, and before that, it was like the Always Sunny in Philadelphia guys. We really liked, and
Yeah.
And like the story with Trey Parker and Matt Stone, the South Park guys, how they made a short like Christmas video and then literally passed around VHS tapes and sent them all over Hollywood. Like, we were like, yeah, this is like a good way to get our message out there much, much wider, cast a wider net. But you guys, I think, were way more viral than we are, or than we were. We straight up, like, people, I feel like some people, if you were deep into comedy, knew us on the YouTube days, but it was, it took a few years of like just churning stuff out for Comedy Central to get a little whiff of us.
Right. I remember. I remember because I was such a big fan of am a big fan of your show, Workaholics, and I remember watching your old YouTube videos. Like, there's the one. It was like the O'Doul's commercial where you're like, we have more dudes coming. Do you remember that one?
Oh yeah, it was well, dude, we literally were at a party and we were like, oh, there's literally no girls here. We're like, it's like a barbecue, and we're like, there's straight up not a girl here, dude.
Yeah.
There's like 25 dudes.
Yeah.
So we then quickly grabbed our camera and shit and was like, well, we got to shoot this video. And it was for Sierra Nevada's Sausage Fest.
Right, that's what it was.
And the motto was "Bring on the dude." Yeah.
Was there?
Yeah, it's a simple idea, but it was born out of us not having one girl at our party.
Well, and too, yeah, I think one thing too with making your own stuff, especially like, because we're, came up in like 2014, 15. That's sort of when I started. And it's like, as like a white guy, I was sort of like, how do I differentiate myself? And then like in auditions, I felt like, I was like, I don't really know if I'm able to show them what I'm good at in auditions and like this brief,
Mhm.
whereas when you make your own stuff, it's like, you can say like, I'm really good at playing this character and here's like proof. And so that's one thing too about making your own stuff that I think is really cool.
And it's just the level, I feel like the level of respect that you have, if you want to be an actor, and the level of respect you have from casting directors and producers and directors, if you've done the work
Mhm.
and you've put out all this, I hate the word content because it sounds
Cheapens it.
stupid as shit, but like if you put out all this content, and people like it, and they can tell that you care about it and you work hard at it, I feel like they immediately give you more of a shot than just some fucking guy who,
Yeah.
uh, you know, thinks he can be an actor. Me and definitely the guys, it was like we weren't getting any love in Hollywood in general. Like ours was out of necessity. We were like, none of us are handsome enough to just walk into a casting office and then be like, "Oh, you're hired."
Yeah.
We had to, we had to do it ourselves,
Um,
Yeah,
dude, back
let's make it super old.
to the party where it was 25 dudes. I'm curious about like everyone's role in that. Uh, was it one guy's fault that no chicks came?
No, from what I remember, it was like we were going over to our buddy Grant's house, and we wanted to shoot something, and we were like, well, let's just throw a little party, and we'll shoot something when we get there. And then we show up, and literally not a girl showed up, not one. And there's like 25 guys, and I'm like, well, I forget whose idea it ended up being, but probably Durs. He's great. So yeah, one of us came up with Sierra Nevada Sausage Fest, and we shot it. That's what was so fun early on when we were making stuff on the internet for Mail Order Comedy, which was our sketch group name. We would make a new video every week. So we were like, whatever the idea is, you have to make a new video right then. So you just come once a week, we get together, pitch ideas, and then whatever idea won, we would go shoot that right then.
Was it tough for you to transition to like the pace of Hollywood? Because I know with your pilot with Workaholics, it there was a long period after you shot it or something before they ordered it to series, right?
Yeah, it was something like, I think it was like like over a year or something. I can't remember exactly how long, but we shot the pilot presentation, and then it was no, we shot the pilot, and then no, actually, sorry, I'm such a stoner, but we shot the whole first season, and then it took like over a year for them to premiere it. So
Right.
I was going around telling people, like when I did stand up, that I had a TV show on Comedy Central called Workaholics, and it's about to come out. And so, and now I get that as like, how do you want to be introduced on stage? And I'd tell people that. It got to the point that people were like, dude, I'm not going to say that. You've been saying that for like over 6 months. Like, like you're obviously lying to us.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I swear to God, we got a show.
We had that with COVID with ours because we had like a year and a half delay. So people were like, what was that thing you guys were going to? I'm like, I swear to God, it's like, it's coming out. Like, just give me like 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then people start asking you, they're like, "Oh, is that thing still happening?" I'm like, "You mean my dream?" Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. You mean my dream in my entire life? Yeah, it's still happening. We're still plugging away.
Yeah.
Did you guys, when you guys came out with your show, or even your stuff before that, did you guys have family members that just straight up don't get it? Like it's not for them?
I remember when we first started coming out with videos, I did the character. It was a little bit more broy and douchey than it is now.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad was like, he's like, Chad goes deep. Like, this is not what I had in mind. He's like, you need to stop this right now. And I was like, Dad, I swear to God, like, I was like, I had this feeling. I was like, just give me like 2 months or something. And then we like went viral for the first
Yeah.
time like a month later, and he's like, all right. But before that, he had a big talk with me because he encouraged me to go into acting. He's like, you should go to Hollywood. And I'm
Mhm.
like, all right. And then he's like, 4 or 5 years later, he's like, yeah, this is not what we had in mind, I think.
Yeah, this you consider this acting. Okay. All right. I thought you were going to take roles like Denzel Washington, but I guess you're going down this
Well,
path.
he wanted me to be in soap operas. He's like, it's like it because he's very like, security oriented. He's like, you should be in soap operas.
Sure.
It's a day job. You clock in Monday through Friday, and so he's very like adamant. He's like, what about Young and the Restless? Like, any. I was like, I think I'm gonna try stand up. I don't.
Well, that means he thinks your dad thinks you're like super handsome. So
He's very sweet.
that's at least that has to feel good. My dad was like, well, my dad's like, oh, you're too ugly to be in soap operas. Looks like it's got to be comedy for you.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, my dad's very sweet that way.
Well,
So-
did your family not quite get it?
No, my parents are wildly supportive. They're just super supportive, and my dad is hilarious, and he actually like loves Workaholics to death. And we're all like, I think some of the other guys, their parents like didn't quite get it and didn't understand it, but I looked out and like I remember when I showed my parents Workaholics for the first time. It hadn't come out, and I just had it on DVD, and they came to visit, and they're in my room in the Workaholics house because we lived there before we shot the show there. So, and even during the first season, so I'm in that room in that house showing them the DVDs, and I left because I'm like, this is weird to just watch yourself with your parents, and I just hear my dad going, yes, oh nice, yeah baby. And then he comes out of the room like he just got done fucking. He was like out of breath. And he was just like, you got yourself a hit. Yeah, poop dollar. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm glad you like it, but keep it down.
Yeah, your dad sounds like if Chris Farley got casted as the Burt Reynolds part in Boogie Nights.
Absolutely. No, I do such a good impression too of him that sometimes people think it's like too much of a character, but then they'll run into him at a rap party or something, and they're like, "Holy shit! I just ran into the tornado known as Dennis Devine," and they realize that my impression is spot on.
He's got a cool alliteration.
He's double D-ing.
Let's go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he does.
Dude, you're in one of my favorite movies ever. You're in Pitch Perfect. Was that
Oh, hell yeah, dog.
So were you singing those songs like, was that tons of takes and you're just singing all day?
No, that we like would lip sync for that stuff. So we would go and record it prior and then just lip sync on the day. Well, thank God too, because I'm like not that good of a singer. I could sing fine. Which, by the way, my dad, when I told him I got Pitch Perfect, I was like, yeah, it's a huge studio movie. It's not huge, but it's a studio movie.
It was big.
And he goes, well, what's it about? And I'm like, it's about it's like a group of collegiate acapella singers. And he goes, but you can't sing worth shit. And I'm like, I could sing perfectly fine. And he's like, no, you can't. Oh, this is gonna suck. And I'm like, all right, well.
It still feels supportive underneath. He's just being so candid with you.
Yeah, it's still like he was bummed that it was gonna suck. Right. He was bummed that I was gonna disappoint everyone with my shitty singing. So he's still being supportive. He was just like, oh man, I wish it was something else so you didn't have to sing.
Did you get to pick your songs?
No. I mean, they kind of no, not at all. Actually, I just lucked out and I had like a couple really fun songs to sing. That movie was so fun. It like truly changed my life. It was like Hollywood works in a way where like even though we can do all of our own stuff to get noticed and to get recognition, there are gatekeepers to where they go like, you're not allowed to be in movies until one studio or something happens where suddenly you're just allowed to be in it. Like now the door's open and you can be in movies. And that's what happened with that movie. It was like, it was such a success that I think Hollywood was like, all right, you can be in movies now.
Do you believe in God?
You could sing better than your father thought you
Are
could.
you a man of faith?
Do I believe in God?
Yeah.
No, not particularly. I think I believe in big Hollywood more than I believe in God.
Nice, dude.
Well, you've done well with that faith. It's paid itself back to you.
Yeah, I think I have.
Are you worried about
Yeah.
dying?
Am I worried about dying? Not particularly. Not now. I think I'm fairly healthy. I think I got a good 40 years, 40 to 50.
Hell yeah.
That's a long time, dude. You don't want to live much longer than that.
We were just talking about that.
Yeah, Ray Kurzweil, I guess, this guy that's like futurist, he wants to be immortal. And I'm like, I'm like, you living that long? I guess you could do sort of every iteration of life. You know, you could be rich and poor and whatever. But I also think like it's weird to mess with nature because like what if on the other side of death is like paradise and then you put yourself through 1,000 years and you're kind of like, that kind of sucked. And then you're like, I did that for no reason.
Yeah, you missed out on good heaven time.
For sure. Yeah, it's cutting into your sweet heaven time. But also, like, don't you just get bored? I find myself doing, I think about this sometimes, like stuff that used to excite me so much when I was 16 or 20 or 25. Now I'm like, meh,
I'm like that too. There's very little,
take it or leave it.
There's very few things that can occupy my full self like in an excited state. Like even like sports and movies. I used to fucking crave that shit. I could just sit there and watch that for like 8 hours. And now after like 10 minutes, I'm like, I get it. I've seen like every iteration of a sporting event. I've seen every genre of movie. I'm like, it just doesn't have the same juice anymore.
Yeah, I think you would just get too bored. I think that's why death happens, because we would just be too bored. You were like fucking over it, and then society would collapse.
And then also bad guys would live forever. Like Putin would live to be 1 million. Like he out of boredom would just drop a nuke just to mix it up.
See, that's right. And society would collapse. We figured it out, guys.
Nice.
We figured out the meaning of life is to die at some
We
point.
just went deep on Riverside.
Yeah.
Yeah, we sure did. Going deep down Riverside.
Is last Q, is there anything you're like watching that people don't know about that we should check out?
Well, I'm just finishing right now season 3 of The Righteous Gemstones. So I'm working on that now. It's going to be a great season. So Righteous Gemstones on HBO with Dana McBride and Edie Patterson and John Goodman and a bunch of fun guest stars this season.
Awesome.
And then I have a movie coming out on Netflix, I think next summer, called The Outlaws with me and Nina Dobrev and Pierce Brosnan and Ellen Barkin.
Dude, I love Pierce Brosnan.
He is so nice. He's cooler than you could imagine, you know, because much like being bored about stuff, like I feel when you meet older movie stars, a lot of times they can be perfectly nice, but they don't give a shit about meeting you. You know what I mean? They've already met too many people. They're over meeting new people. And Pierce wasn't that way at all. He was super cool. So, and that's The Outlaws, and that'll come out next year.
I just saw a YouTube interview with Pierce Brosnan where he finds out the guy interviewing him is from his hometown and he gets teary-eyed. He almost starts crying. And he's like, "Oh, you're from Buvna." And then he just starts reminiscing. He's like, "Is the same like tea tree still there?" And then like it's like he's like this wistful, very handsome older man, like just like in the moment, reflecting and being moved like that. It was really cool.
Yeah, he truly is one of the best guys I've ever worked with. So
that's awesome.
Mark that off the bucket list.
So are you you're just finishing production of Righteous Gemstone right now?
Yeah, I have like another week or so, week and a half, and then I will be done.
That's
And it's
awesome.
Christmas.
I love that show. I'm excited for season 3. And you're in South Carolina right now, right?
Yeah, Charleston.
Oh, we heard Charleston's amazing.
Where they shot The Notebook, dude, and where they
It
shoot,
is, I think.
and where they shoot those Bravo shows.
Southern Charmed. Yes, I see the Southern Charmed guys quite a bit.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Charleston's like a truly beautiful city. It truly reminds me of sort of Orange County South. So it truly feels like Charleston feels like kind of feels like you're in Newport Beach. So I love it. I'm on the beach here too. So
I'm gonna get a place. I want to get a
great
place
spot.
there. I've never been there, but I want to get a place somewhere outside of LA, and I've been thinking Charleston. So hearing that from you, that might
dude,
be the nail.
and take my word for it. Don't visit. Just throw your money at a house here. Don't even check out the neighborhood. Just go all in on Charleston.
Dude, that's what I was
telling you.
thinking. Thank you. Because like my family and my accountant have been advising me against that. And I'm like, y'all aren't living the right way. All right.
They're
I'm
saying
just
no,
rolling the
but-
dice.
That's right.
All right. Well, hopefully tell
That's
Craig I
right.
said
The
what's
whole
up.
point of living is just dying.
I'm here to die, bro.
Will
Can you
do.
tell,
Will
can you
do.
tell Craig? Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah,
Well,
we're just here to die.
Next time
Yeah.
you're in Newport, we should hit Malarkey's and beer bong some Jaeger.
Yeah, dude, are you down? Do you want to cruise over to me and Chad's and just do
I
some
would
beer bongs?
absolutely with you guys. I would absolutely love that.
Oh,
Let's
yeah.
do beer bongs, but make sure it's Tuesday mid-afternoon.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. Of course. We get it.
Yeah, it can't be a weekend.
Well, dude, it was such a pleasure having you on, dude. It's truly an honor, and yeah, good luck with everything.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. You too, and keep it up. You guys are killing it.
Oh, thanks,
Oh,
man.
thank you, man. Means
You
a lot.
too. Such a pleasure chatting with you.
Cool. All right. Talk soon, guys.
What up, dudes? I'm interrupting this pod to let you know once again that we got a show out on Netflix, Chan JT Go Deep. Check it out. Give it a listen and a watch. No, give it a watch. It's a visual medium. And enjoy it with your family this holiday season. It'll brighten your spirits. I guarantee it. We're also coming out with new videos on the YouTube, so check out our YouTube, like and subscribe, all that good stuff. We are also brought to you by the legends at Dadgrass. Fun new sponsor. I love Dadgrass. They have pre-rolled CBD joints, nighttime tinctures for your hangovers. They got sleep aids. It's a really cool CBD company, and they have these. It comes in really cool packaging. You can get these pre-rolled joints that look cool, and you feel good. So everything about it helps your well-being and helps you feel good and all that stuff. And isn't that what we're all looking for, is to feel good? So get on the Dadgrass train right now. No need to stress over the holidays this year. Take a toke break instead of worrying about what to get those for Impossible Shop 4 fan members. 'Tis the season to indulge, but we don't want you to get so high that you go to the moon. That's why Dadgrass is here to help you chill out and enjoy the sleigh ride. What up? It's legal, organic, smokable hemp that relaxes your body and mellows your mind. Their 100% organic pre-rolled joints, tinctures, and gummies are very low in THC and high in CBD. And they have a bunch of products you guys are like. Check them out. Go to their website. All Dadgrass products are federally legal for ages 18 and over, and it ships right to your door anywhere in the U.S. Huge. So right now, Dadgrass is offering our listeners 20% off your first order when you go to dadgrass.com/go-deep. Go to dadgrass.com/go-deep for 20% off your first order. That's dadgrass.com/go-deep. We're also brought to you by the legends at Prize Picks. What up, guys? If you're looking to take your whole action game to the next level, I love putting some sweet action on the game. And Prize Picks helps you in that department. How does it work? You pick 2 to 6 players, and if they will go score more or less than their Prize Picks projection, you can win up to 25x your money. You can times it by 25 on any entry. This is some sweet action, guys. I want you to get on it today. It's a really fun way to put action on the game, and they give you cool projections. You can do it in any sport, not just like NFL. You can do it in MMA, NBA, NHL, MLB, everything. Go to Prize Picks. Check it out. And I want you to download the Prize Picks app or go to prizepicks.com to sign up and play daily fantasy sports. First-time users can receive a 100% instant deposit match up to $100 with promo code GODEEP. If you deposit $100, Prize Picks will give you $100. If you deposit $50, Prize Picks will give you $50. Don't forget to enter promo code GODEEP and sign up for an instant deposit match up to $100. We are also Brought to you by the legends at Manscaped. Manscaped, thank you so much for keeping our trims peeled, for looking after our hogs, for making sure their dinks are looking fresh and clean, because they got the Platinum Package 4.0. It's the best gift out there this holiday season. If you know someone who has pubes, get them the Platinum Package. This will help them take care of their whole body from head to toe. With the Lawnmower 4.0, the Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, they can get nose hair, they can get pubes, they can get shampoo, condish, ball toner, underwear, a nice shirt. There's Shears 0.0, full kit for nail care, all that kind of stuff. Persevere cologne, body buffer. It's a new kind of loofah that is legit. So, get 20% off and free shipping with the code GODEEP at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. Use code GODEEP. Manscaped for a perfect gift that will be the holiday's biggest hit. Finally, we are brought to you by Legends at Athletic Greens. Athletic Greens is my favorite supplement company. I drink Athletic Greens every morning, and it ensures that I get my full nutrition, and I look good, and I feel good, and I'm getting all the vitamins and micronutrients that I need in an affordable package. And I literally use it every day. They have 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole foods source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens. And it's vegan, keto, paleo, dairy-free, gluten-free, lifestyle-friendly, supports better sleep quality and recovery, supports mental clarity and alertness, and it costs you less than $3 a day. They have over 7,000 5-star reviews. They're recommended by Tim Ferriss. What up? Right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just one scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/go-deep. Again, that is athleticgreens.com/go-deep to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. All right, let's get back to the show. Dude, what a great interview with Adam Devine.
Amazing. Should we get back to regular programming?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Yo, what up, Stoke Lords? Got a quick question about diet. I consider myself a pretty healthy dude, but every once in a while, I'll get a real bad sweet tooth that'll last a few days, and I'll munch too much sugar. Any advice on curbing that devilish little craving? Much love to y'all. Appreciate your auras. Marty.
Dude, appreciate your auras? That's the best compliment I've ever heard.
High praise.
Fuck, you just fired me up. I like this guy. Well, dude, I think first off, go easy on yourself. You know, if you're too strict on your diet, then I think it's so easy to, you know, you can be so strict on your diet where it's stressing you out to the point where you just sort of go all in on sweets and desserts and stuff. So I think, you know, if you're having a cookie, if you're having some sweets here and there, that's fine. Go easy on yourself. I almost think when you're treating yourself, that's healthier. I think, but if you want to curb some sugar, you know, I think one thing you can do is you can substitute, instead of going for like ice cream and stuff like that, you could substitute with fruit. Big favorite of mine is watermelon. I just munch on watermelon. I think grapefruit is a really good one because that kind of curbs your appetite as well. So you get your sugar fix and it's not too much sugar, and it also curbs your appetite. So that's my take.
Yeah, man, I agree. Be easy on yourself. And then I'm guessing that the times when you're craving sugar are either when you're like super busy or not busy at all. That's when it happens for me. Is like when I'm bored, I'm like, oh, well, you know, I'm addicted to like self-medicating and giving myself a hit. So I don't want to smoke weed today. I don't want to drink. So I'll just munch on some Starburst. Or if I'm like crazy busy, we're running around all day, I'll be like, fuck, I need something. And I'll just eat a Fat Boy. I had a nice Fat Boy when we got to Salt Lake City the other day. Ice cream sandwich at 2 p.m. Felt good. Dude,
yeah. And also it's fun to treat yourself with, you know, like when we did Seth Meyers, we got a banana splits.
That was fun.
Yeah. That's a great memory.
That's the thing too. It's like, it's the lesser of a lot of evils. Like people really beat themselves up for sugar, and I know it's bad for you, but you need some stuff that's bad for you. And like, dude, you could be banging hookers. You could be railing coke.
Yeah.
You could be like, you know, street fighting, and you know, you're just eating sugar. I think most people would say that's not that bad. You know, if you talk to a wild man like Alec Baldwin, he'd be like, you're chill.
Mm-hmm. Mid banging a hooker, probably. And
Some people do all those things at the same time.
yeah, I know my buddy Fred. He was doing coke, eating ice cream, and hooking up with prostitutes at the same time.
And yeah, and some people don't pay prostitutes. That's really the most important thing. Besides, like, curbing your extreme sexual desires, make sure that you're, being respectful in your transactions, because it's a gig, the oldest gig.
I mean, it's in the human brain to want to bust a load, and how you decide to bust that load, is up to you. And it sounds like you're busting your load in the healthiest way possible by having sugar. So props to you.
What up, Stokers? My squad had a Saturday for the books, but we haven't talked since. Basically what happened was we played a game where everyone brought a mystery pill. Then we put them in a cup in the middle and all grabbed one randomly to take. There was Molly, Adderall, Tylenol, pain relief, you name it. Who brought the Tylenol pain relief?
I'd be so pissed.
Was there like a 65-year-old with arthritis in the crew who's been playing a little too much pickleball? And he's like, it's like a key party where you really want to get one person's key. You're like, please be the hot out of town chick. And then you're like, oh, I got Fred's wife. Fuck. Like 10 minutes in, Brent realized he swallowed a boner pill, and we all got a real laugh at how hard his dick was. He said it started to hurt really bad and he needed a bust, but he had 2 broken wrists, so he couldn't jack off. We told him the pain would go away, but if he didn't come ASAP, he might suffer blood loss. We told him that's not how that works, but he was too hard to hear us. Our friend Luke couldn't take it anymore, so he would just jack off Brent to get it over with. He was going at it for a couple minutes, and even though it looked pretty legit to us, Brent said it wasn't enough. Then a little bit of spit led to a full-on blowjob clinic. He was actually good at it too, like crazy good, sucking balls, deep throat, you name it. Brent finished and felt better, but it was just weird in the room after. We tried to turn on football, but decided to call it early, and we all went home. What should our crew do to get back in shape for the weekend? Those are like my only friends, so I need us to get over this. Also, should I tell my parents? I'd like to remain anonymous because all my friends listen to the pod. Well, first of all, I don't think you need to be anonymous. Your name is Roger Dooley. Secondly, you should tell your parents. Third, it's normal to have a bit of a hangover after an extreme sexual display for the first time in your friend group. You all need to understand that that's natural. Everyone needs time to process what I think was altogether a positive experience. And I think in time, you'll remember it as such. So just let yourself have that. You're going to miss maybe 1 week of games, but football will still be there. So come back in 2 weeks when Lamar Jackson's back from injury and helping my fantasy team, and enjoy the splendor of watching him run. And then just look at your friends and laugh.
Yeah, I think, thank you for writing in. I mean, what a story. What a weekend you had. I think, too, if it's feeling a little awkward with you and your friends, maybe just send them a text, break the ice. Be like, epic Saturday, fellas. Can't wait to do it again. And just get the conversation going. And, and if you really want to, make, was it Brent who did the sucking? Mm-hmm. If you want to make, maybe Brent feels, maybe a little bit weird.
No, it was Luke.
Oh, Luke did the sucking. Just say like, Luke, great job, dude. You really saved, Brent's boner.
He took one for the team, unless he doesn't perceive it as taking one for the team. And in fact, he was taking one for himself.
Yeah.
In either case, an admirable thing to do.
Yeah. But I'd just be stoked on your crew. I mean, knowing that there's, potentially lethal boner happening, and then someone can step up and, rectify the sitch. I think it's really admirable and shows the strength of your squad.
I'm also betting Luke was the one who took the Molly.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Yeah,
because that's a Molly move.
Yeah,
it nasty hangover. Got to be careful with it, especially if it's mixed with other stuff. But it can bring out the best in you.
Yeah, he definitely didn't take the Tylenol.
All right, next question.
Some really good questions.
What up, Stokers? Hope your Thanksgiving was dank. Also, I hope that JT has been thoroughly executing some squats. Hope that Chad has been enjoying the perfect small doses of shrooms. And Strider, if you were there, I hope you've been consuming some crisp IPAs before some beautiful tongue darting sessions. Basically wanted to ask you legends for advice regarding my career path. I'm a 23-year-old first-year accountant and lucky to have a job with a good work-life balance that pays me a respectable salary. My issue is that while I was in college, I fell in love with the game of poker and became somewhat good at it. I've logged thousands of hours at the poker table, and my sample size is large enough to suggest that I can make the same amount of money playing poker that I do with my current 9-to-5 job. I am really torn because of the following. On one hand, I have planned on being an accountant since I was 13 years old. And now that I am here starting a career in the field, I feel like it would be a waste of my money and time spent on schooling to take a break from it and play poker for a living. I only work about 40 hours per week, all remote, and I don't mind what I am doing. On the other hand, I love playing poker. It's less stressful in many aspects. I don't have to answer to a boss, and I can choose my own hours. Casinos are open 24 hours. The downside of poker is that it's a zero-sum game, so I will question what I am adding to society by doing it for a living. Both pays around the same, and neither will have a detrimental effect on my personal relationships. Forgive me for assuming, but something tells me, given your line of work, you guys may have some anxiety regarding your career path along the way. Do you have any suggestions regarding mindset or sayings, questions that I should keep in my mind when making my decision? All the best, and thanks for the positive stoke that you spread, Trevor.
Wow.
These are tough, dude, because it's tough to tell someone to give up a sure thing career that's going to provide you stability and security. But that being said, look, if you become a poker player, we know a couple of professional poker players because they're in the comedy community. You're going to be a weird guy.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys are weird. You know what I mean? Because they live by their own rules and they live in a very specific world that is exciting, but is not one-to-one with how everybody else is living. But there's a good side to that. You'll be living a dynamic life full of questions and full of seedy people and full of excitement. And I can't tell you to make that decision for you, but you got to honor yourself, man. You got to honor yourself.
Yeah, I think it's one thing that helps is doing an exercise of sort of looking at you 10 years from now and looking back on your 10-year, what are you, 20, was he 22? Like your 32-year-old self looking back on your 22-year-old self and the decisions you're making now. I think that's a good exercise. Like, would you be stoked on either decision staying with accounting or going into poker? I think that's a good exercise. And I think, you seem really passionate about it. It seems like you weighed the pros and cons. You weighed the risks. You know what you're getting yourself into. And I think life is all about saying yes. So, I think if you're looking for an adventure, I think you know that path. I think, just be mindful of the potential risks. And then I think in terms of a mindset, I think one thing that helps for me is just being stoked on what you're doing. I think for us, it's like, it's all about continuing to create, whether that's writing new material, shooting new videos, writing anything. It's staying in the momentum, it's a snowball and you're staying in that snowball, just rolling down, you know what I mean? So for me, that's all I can do. And then I think, you can worry about future financial situations, stuff like that. But I think getting to a place where you're just stoked on what you're doing for the sake of doing it, that is the best mindset to have in these risky kind of career paths.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of highs and there's going to be a lot of lows. Yeah. You're signing up for more of that than if you were on the accountant path. You'd have more of a steady middle.
Yeah.
And my brain is designed for the highs and lows.
Yeah.
And I love it, but it does beat you up a little bit. And it is a snowball, but it's like the snowball's almost going uphill.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's going to be times where it's hard to keep it. It's nice having someone like Chad in my life who, if I'm tired, I know my dog is going to be pushing from his heels, getting that thing up the hill, shoulders tired, abs tight, and he's just going to keep it moving. So poker's, a one-man game. That's tough, but you got to find a crew. Find a crew of people, find your worm from rounders, but, hopefully he doesn't have worm's weakness for, failure and betrayal. And you're more of a Mikey D You're more of a Matt Damon in that movie.
Dude, are you for real right now?
I'm for real. Find your Mikey D, a guy who, is a shark with the cards, but isn't a shark in his interpersonal relationships.
Dude, you know who you are? You're John Malkovich if he was a good guy.
Oh, dude, thank you, man. Can't even picture that, but it's compelling. Yeah, man, you'll figure it out, dude. I like where your head's at, though. I like that you're thinking adventurously. I also think, look, I don't mean to be crude, but which one's going to help you with chicks more? I think, again, it's the high highs, the low lows versus that steady upper middle. In accounting, you're going to find a nice girl. You're going to have a good family. You're in that poker world. You're going to have a run there where you're sleeping with some dangerous women, and that's going to be exciting, but it's not someone you're going to want to be long-term with. And if you don't get good at it, you might never get out of that subset of people. But if you get really good at poker, you're going to find a really cool lady at the end of that.
Dude, if you go the poker route too, dress the part. Get some cool flashy shades. Get a necklace, like a chain. Get a cool ass blazer and just come in and, drop your dick on the table and say, I'm here and I'm here to play poker.
And if you stick with accounting, do the same thing.
Yes.
Come into the office in a Hawaiian with a blazer looking like Hunter S. Thompson. Throw that fat dick on the table and say, hey, I'm here to work through some people's financials.
It's tax season. And then chop up a line.
You want to put that in your 401k or you want it in your pocket now? And they're like, can you take your hand out of your pocket because you're getting yourself hard? And then say, hey, makes the numbers easy to come by.
You're like, I'm hard because I was thinking about clients who keep their receipts.
Yeah, we've been struggling with that.
Yeah, I fucked up.
But dude, Michelle, our accountant, she says you're an A+.
Oh yeah,
client.
yeah.
She told our agent Rachel that.
Oh really? She told Rachel that?
Yeah,
Hilarious.
Rachel was laughing at me.
Hilarious.
She's like, Michelle said Chad's an A+ client, and then I was like, what'd she say about me? She's like, she says you call her back. But I'm getting more into it. I am putting. I feel the will to get smarter about that stuff.
You know what's funny is like everyone I'm close to, I'm very responsive, but everyone I'm close to is not responsive. Isn't that an interesting thing?
Well, it's the same thing with me. Like the people I'm closest to all have commonalities, and they're all the opposite of me.
Yeah.
Right? Because Kennedy's not super quick on the text.
responsive,
I'm pretty slow on it.
Yeah. You're responsive with me.
Yeah, especially if it's work related.
Yeah.
I'm not responsive with the other 5,000 text messages I haven't read. Every time I post a story from like my homepage on my phone, people are like, dude, read your text messages. You're stressing me out. I'm like, I like seeing the number pile up. I'm sorry. I'm a narcissist. It feels good. I'm like, that's 5,000 messages of love that are just getting funneled to my little wounded self.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
All right. Should we get to the next bit?
Yes, sir.
Chad, who is your beef of the week?
My beef of the week is, my buddy Derek. He got me into a pyramid scheme, bro.
What?
Yeah. Well, he hit me up and he's like, dude, do you want a beach body? And I'm like, always. Like, have you not known me for the past 15 years? He's like, well, I got the hookup. I'm working with a company called Beachbody. Do you want these shakes to get the best body possible? And I was like, dude, say no more. Here's my credit card info. Load it up. Send me as many shakes as you got. I'm ready to get my full-on beach body. And so I have like 4 boxes of this shit, and it tastes horrible, and it's like filled with sugar. It's like fattening. I'm like, Derek, this is not going to give me a beach body, bro. And he just keeps hitting me back with like more sort of like, like he's like pitching me sales stuff. He's like, well, do you want huge, like more toned calves? He's like, well, do you want like...
Yeah, he's questioning your commitment. Like, are you willing to go the whole way with it? Like, it's your fault.
Yeah. And he's like, well, maybe you're not getting the right samples. Maybe you're not, supplementing it correctly. Like, but do you want a torso where people are suspicious that you might be etching? And I'm like, yes, dude, that's what I've wanted my entire life. I want the Fight Club physique. And he's like, well, buy more of this beach body. And I did. because he keeps selling me on this shit. And then he got me these pills, and I'm like, dude, I can't even, these make me feel like shit, bro. And my physique hasn't changed one bit.
You know what, dude? I'm on your side, but maybe just listen to Derek and keep going. Give him more money, take more of the stuff, and like, wait to see.
Dude, I think you're fucking right, dude. I should just listen to Derek, huh?
And I think I'm going to probably do the same and hit him up and probably get my parents involved as well.
Dude, you're so right, bro. I'm glad I talked to you about this. I'm going to order more Beachbody.
Yeah. It's hard to have faith, but there's rewards at the end of it. Dude, I got 2 beefs. First beef with myself. I'm racist.
Whoa.
Yeah. It
For
was
real?
it was a hard thing to realize. We were staying at a hotel in Salt Lake City. I had the TV on in the background. I finished beating off. And then I heard what was on the TV, and it was this leader from France. I think he's their president, called Macron.
Mm-hmm.
And when I heard his voice right away, I went, I don't trust that guy for a second. And it was just because he had a French accent.
Wow.
And I realized I'm highly prejudiced towards the French. It's totally built around their kind of slick physicality and that voice, that accent. I don't trust it for a minute, dude. Like if someone had to do life-saving operation on a family member and I heard a French accent, I'd be like, you're trying to fuck my family member. And and I was instantly worried about Biden. I sent him a DM. I was like, don't trust this dude. And then I had to think about it. And I was like, dude, I don't even know this guy. I don't even know any French people. And just based off a sound, I'm judging an entire community of people. That's not me. That's not the kind of American I want to be. So I am sorry to the French.
Well, let me tell you this, bro. I would never let my daughter date a French guy.
Really?
For real.
You know what? At a certain point, we all want to be peace and love. But when it comes to your family, you got to protect.
Yeah.
And that can be in conflict with peace and love.
Yeah.
So peace and love your way back to Francais.
Yeah. It comes in. I'm like, you smell like escargot. What are you trying to,
Yeah, which is delicious. But I think they stole that shit from the Italians.
That's so like the French, bro.
I think Catherine de Medici in like the 1400s, she cruised with a caravan to France, brought a bunch of spices. They put it into a reduction. They're like, we invented cuisine. It's like, no, it's just been around, dog.
And dude, you know what the issue with them too is? They put letters in their words that they're not even going to acknowledge in the pronunciation. It's like, why don't you finish your word, bro?
For sure. Guys, now look, if you're like one of the stokers and you love what we say, don't hurt any French people. But don't let them date anyone you love. There's a balance. Dude, my second beef is I've been reading that weird book again. I found a way to get through it. I skipped the studies. And it's about people, anthropology.
Yeah.
Dude, did you know that they've done studies that if you are in a monogamous relationship, your testosterone goes down?
What?
So people from polygynous relationships, I think that was the word they used, their testosterone stays higher. And in certain communities, like there's this group of people, I forget what the exact pronunciation is, but the men, because it's like this is from the past, and they were like a warrior kind of culture. The men were in monogamous relationships, but lived with the other men at their own barracks and weren't at home with the wife and kids. Their testosterone stayed higher as well. Because when you're in intergroup competition like that, your T stays higher. And they've done a lot of different studies, and it seems like it's scientifically valid that being monogamous drops your T a bit. So my beef is with God. Why did you make it that way? I want to love one person. I want to be loyal to them. I want them to be my best friend. I want to grow with them, but I don't want to lose T. Like, come on, dude. It should be the opposite. It should be that if you're in a monogamous relationship and you're loyal to that bitch, your fucking T goes through the roof, dude.
Hell yeah.
You should be rewarded with that shit because, well, here's the other thing. When your T's lower, you're more attentive as a father. Like when you hear the baby cry, you're quicker to like go take care of it. And you also get along with other people more easily. So like living in a community where everyone's got to rely on each other and trade with each other, that's smoother the lower your T is. But I think I could do that with Skyrocket tea. I don't have an issue with that stuff. So I don't know. It just kind of bummed me out that being a legend means that like you're not hitting your power lifts as hard as you could.
Dude, throughout that whole roller coaster of a rant, I texted my GF to break up with her, and then I just texted her JK.
Wow.
Cause and now
Dude, does that sound symptomatic of low T?
Yeah, and now I'm gonna send her a text saying I'm just gonna take TRT instead.
That's what I'm saying. That's kind of the answer, right? That's why I was going to do the peptides. I'm like, look, I want to love one person, but I'd like to be virile and kind of crazy and on edge. So I might have to do steroids, babe. All right, that's the balance. That's kind of the Rogan model. Yeah. He gets it.
Wow.
Chad, who's your babe of the week?
My babe of the week, dude, it's the Rocky Mountains, bro. I love the Rocky Mountains. We were in Salt Lake and we were in Denver, and it was epic. And I love the you point out this word to me, rustic. I love the rustic vibe of the Rocky Mountain West, you know. And I just love in Salt Lake looking. I was like, man, those mountains are huge, and it's just I'm just so fired up on America and its cartography and geography and all types of ography, just offering us dank shit like the Rocky Mountains, and then you got beaches, and then you got swamps, and then you got New England.
Beautiful. I saw so much. Dude, my babe of the week is Mormons at the airport.
Nice.
Dude, when you come off a plane in Utah and you see the family waiting for their kid to get back from his mission, I mean, look, I know they got some beliefs that seem wayward to the rest of us, and you know, maybe rightfully so, but I get the warmest feeling when I see them, their faces of anticipation and pride, and you know that kid's about to come off the plane and he hasn't seen the family, or she hasn't seen the family for 2 years, and they're about to just be together for the first time. It's a beautiful, beautiful tradition, and it never fails to move me every time I see it.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, I noticed that too when I was getting up. I was like, dude, I fucking gave him a huge thumbs up.
I want to go up to the family and be like, I'm so happy for you guys. Yeah, it's like, welcome home, Tanner. And then the dad's just standing there kind of trying to be stoic, but he can't help. He's a little bit fidgety. And the mom is just like, she can't wait to hug her baby. It's really, oh, and then sometimes I saw one, the guy was going to see his kid for the first time.
Whoa.
So the young wife is there with her baby, and they're about to be reunited.
Wow.
And, you know, he's been on a mission. He's been trying to spread the word of this thing he believes in. And, you know, it's not what I believe, but I like the loyalty to their core values. It's really, they live it fully. And that to me is beautiful.
That fires me up.
Chad, who's your legend of the week?
My legend of the week, all the stokers who came to the shows. I mean, we did our first weekend at a comedy club and we sold it out, and it's all thanks to you guys.
All 5 shows. Dude, it felt really good.
That's so awesome. So huge thank you to everyone who came out. You guys were just the best audiences. It was so much fun, and it's always really heartwarming to meet the stokers because they're all just such good people, and they're just, you know, good dudes and ladies with good hearts, just trying to live good lives and make a positive contribution to the world, and then come to a show and just laugh and just, you know, so I just extending my love to all you guys. You guys are legends, and thanks for supporting us and just being with us on this journey.
It's been a good time.
Yeah.
My legend of the week, I have 2 again. I'm sorry. I have number 1, Jalen Hurts, the quarterback from the Philadelphia Eagles. I get messages from stokers sometimes from that area, from Philly, being like, what do you think our prospects are this year? I think they're 10-1 or 11-1 now. I think they're 11-1 now. And I kept saying, I like the team. I like Jalen Hurts a lot as a person. He's a real hard worker. He squats like 700 pounds as a quarterback. Some know-it-alls on YouTube like, how does that help him as a quarterback? I'm like, have you seen him on QB sneaks? Where do you think he's getting that leg drive from, son? And but I was always, and I like the way he lost his job at Alabama, but he was still a good teammate to Tua. And I like how he went to Oklahoma, and he just continued to work his ass off. And now he's probably going to win the MVP. But I still felt like he wasn't a good enough passer. And I hadn't watched enough this year to make that assessment. It was based off past years where it just didn't look like he could make all the throws that you got to make to win the big one. But I got to tell you, after watching him on Sunday, that guy has improved so much, which shouldn't surprise me because that's his mindset. And he looks like he could do it, and I want him to do it. So Jalen, sorry for the disrespect. You're an absolute beast. And I'm kind of rooting for you. I hope you do get that chip. And then my second one is Kevin Holland and Stephen Thompson. They put on one of the best UFC fights of all time this past weekend. Kevin Holland was probably a little bit outgunned in the stand-up department, but still refused to take it to the floor. He was like, I just want to put on a show. Broke 3 bones in his hand. Took more head kicks than I've ever seen someone survive. And what I liked most is they were both so respectful in the buildup. You know, everyone, we say we love these. We do. I do love these fights like Khabib versus Conor or Kamaru Usman versus Colby, where they're like being really mean to each other and saying like the nastiest shit. It's always fun to see that play out. But dude, I think I might like it more when the two guys are fucking really nice and they're really sweet to each other. Even during the fight, Thompson was apologizing to him for kicking him in the head. Like Holland would be like, hey bro, that hurt. Holland's really funny. And Thompson's really sweet. He'd just be like, I'm sorry, man. And then he'd head kick him again. But they were
That's hilarious.
It's hilarious. And they're warriors, dude. They're some of the toughest guys in the world, but they don't act like assholes. They're cool as fuck.
Yeah.
And then they still put on an all-out war. And it's like, it's very like heartwarming in a way. You're like, these sweet guys kick ass. And I was very grateful I got to watch that. I'm grateful to have those two guys.
That's really cool.
In my life a bit. Chad, what's your quote of the week?
My quote of the week is comes from, I don't know. Christmas isn't just a gift. It's a frame of mind.
You were hot on that too. That was one of the things you liked about Salt Lake City.
Oh yeah, they had a good light arrangement. It's good Christmas town, you know. So I was walking to get food, and there's a good light arrangement in this place. There's Christmas music, and I always feel like I rush through the holidays, and I don't appreciate them. So I just stood there in Utah and just looked up, and I was like, "Merry Christmas to me."
Nice, dude. My quote of the week: the University of Colorado got a new football coach, Deion Sanders. Prime
Nice,
time,
dude.
One of the most legendary. Maybe the most legendary defensive back of all time. I know people say he's the best. I still take Revis just because I watched him more. I think he didn't have the high-end speed, but had better hips and was a little bit better of a tackler. But Deion, legend, took over at Colorado. And it reminded me of an old legend who was a coach at Colorado, Dan Hawkins. And this was a rant he gave one time. And it's a little bit long, but I'd like to play it. And then, Jake, maybe you can overlay the audio.
Coach at the University of Colorado. Last week was signing day for all the high schoolers to come and sign on the dotted line. Well, apparently some little incident happened with the Buffalo football team. We'll let Dan Hawkins explain.
Some guys might decide that it's a little too tough, or it's a little too hard, it's a little too demanding. I'll give you a little example. I got an anonymous letter from a parent. Said, you know, we just kind of bummed out this year that the boys only get 2 weeks off before they start their summer conditioning program. You know, normally they get 3. Well, we gave them a week at the start of the semester rather than at the end. But here's my point, okay? It's Division I football! It's the Big 12! It ain't intramurals! You got 2 weeks after finals, you got a week at July 4th, and you got a week before camp starts. That's a month. That's probably more vacation than you guys get. And we're a little bummed out that we don't get 3 weeks. Go play intramurals, brother. Go play intramurals.
Where was this?
He was the coach of Colorado, and the parents were complaining that the kids didn't have time off.
Hilarious.
And he just snapped in an interview.
Yeah.
The way he goes from being calm and they're a little mad that they don't have time with the kid, takes a beat and then he goes, "It's Division I football!" And then at the end, when he's just exhausted, he goes, "Go play intramurals, brother." Yeah. And Deion gave like a similar speech to his guys. So it's in a proud he was much cooler about it, as Deion is, but it's in a proud tradition of Colorado coaches just letting the players know what time it is.
Hell yeah.
Chat, what's your phrase of the week for getting after it?
Let's beer bong the Jaeger.
Mine is, dude, Instagram. I mean, the amount of quotes we absorb every day
Yeah.
you know, inspiring quotes. If you don't have inspiring quotes, it's on you, because every freaking bartender and hairdresser that I follow is just posting the fuck out of them, dude.
Yeah.
If you wish to improve, be content to appear clueless or stupid. That's from Epictetus.
Yeah. Big stoic guy.
Yeah, brother.
Nice. That just made
It's
me
stoic philosophy, brother. You don't want it. Be agitated. Go be agitated, brother. Go try to control what you can't control. All right. It's stoicism. You read one book a month, you get through it, you feel balanced.
lose control of your inner state, brother.
Lose control, brother. If that's what you want, go lose control.
Hell yeah. What a great pod.
Yeah, it was really fun.
That's got me fired up. That was a Christmas gift for me and for you. Thanks, Jake, for setting it up. Legend.
Jake, great work, dude.
Stokers, like and subscribe, do all that shit. Watch it on YouTube. Fucking, buy from our sponsors.
Yeah, do that. Do that. Because if you buy from our sponsors, they pay more. We're in this together, dudes. Trickle down stoke. It's real.
And then just like leave a dank ass review.
Yeah, do that too. Thanks, guys.
If you need advice, these guys are really nice.